Hello, doers. My name is Jose Ignacio, and I have a question. How many subscriptions are you currently subscribed to? Admit it, more than a few. Today, we're looking at Tecpro, a software development training company that offers subscriptions for online courses. Subscriptions are a great way of packaging online courses. On the customer side, students can choose if they want to commit to a monthly or a yearly basis. And then on our side, subscriptions are a great way to keep up customer retention and for us to maintain a predictable monthly and yearly revenue. So let's walk through the process of selling one of our course subscriptions, shall we? Enough chit chat, let's get right into it. Alrighty, so here's a quick overview of our website. So Odoo actually made it incredibly easy for us to build it with no coding required. And I can quickly customize and add elements if I wanted to using this little edit tool up in the top right corner. But right now, I want to show you some of our products that I'm talking about today. So to show our courses, we're going to head over to the shop, and here we are. Okay, so here's the shop page with our different course products. Tecpro offers 3 training packages and a couple of subscription services. We have a yearly training over here, which is $2,000 per year, and this affords students 100 classes per year. We also have a monthly training where students have 8 classes per month. And the unlimited training package over here, which is $400 a month, where students, you guessed it, they get unlimited number of classes per month. I know what you're thinking. With these prices, how can you not sign up? Well, let's talk more about that then. So let's go through how I've actually set up selling subscriptions as an online business. So we're going to click in our top left corner just to go back to our dashboard over here. Let's head into our subscriptions app, yellow and green one right there, Odooers. Okay, we're going to go to configuration and settings. Now I want you to scroll down until you're over here in our quotations and orders section. Now, since I sell my products online, I've gone ahead and enabled the online payment option that we have right there. And why? Well, this means that prospective students can purchase training packages directly from our website. And then if we go down to invoicing, we have automatic invoicing ticked off. And this means that an invoice is automatically generated with the online payment that goes through. Now, this means the customer gets receipt of payment right when it's made, instead of having to manually send it out. And the revenues, as you guessed it, are simultaneously recorded by our accounting applications. Remember to hit save, and now I think it's time for us to take a look at how I've set up my courses inside of our products tab. So select products and products. This is different because we're doing it within the subscriptions app. Okay, now let's select our monthly training one to start with. So here's the product form for our monthly training course. I've actually set this up, as you guessed it, a sales and a subscription product. Because this is a service and not something we sell physically, I also have the product type over here set to service. Now, setting up this product under these configurations allows me to do pretty cool actions. Because this is set up as a sales product, it means we can actually sell an invoice for it. And Odoo opens up several fields for the product form that help facilitate the sales process. As well, because we check the subscriptions box, it means that sales orders for this product are automatically rendered as recurring ones with regular invoicing dates. That's incredibly useful. So having worked in sales, I've noticed that sometimes there can be a lag between the time of purchase and handoff to a team for follow-up of any type of kind. For the customer, this creates a moment of uncertainty. Sure, I got the receipt, but what comes next? Well, this is what comes next. We address our issue under the Create on Order field for us, where this product will create a new task. As you see that we've selected, you can also select Project and Task, Project. You can also select Nothing, but in our case, we're selecting task. There's a reason. Because the product will create a new task inside of the project app once the sales order goes through. This way, my team is prompted with the next step, and we can get things rolling with the customer right when the sale goes through. For reference, each new task for this product will all be under, as you guessed it, software development training project over here. So we'll see how the task looks from the projects app later on. Don't worry, I'm going to show you that as well. So for internal tracking purposes, this is the back end. I've also set up a new unit of measurement for my training courses. As you could tell over here, we have it as 8 classes in this case, because that's how we're going to do this. So that is because the monthly package includes 8 classes per month, which I've set up in our back end if you wanted to see right there. Right there. So because each class is exactly 1 hour, I placed it under our working time category right there. And if you want to see that one as well, let's go forward with that. So our reference unit under working time is an 8-hour working day. This means that any new unit of measurement in this category has to be divided by 8 to get that ratio, so that Odoo can track it correctly. For example, I created another custom unit of measurement for our yearly training product, which includes 100 classes or 100 working hours. So to get the ratio, I just had to divide 100 by 8, which is, as you guessed it, 12.5. So to quickly recap, Odoo gives us a bunch of standard units of measurement so that we can track our products and services with the correct quantifiable values. What we did here is we took one of those standard measurements that best represented a quantifiable value and tweaked it to slightly fit our service products. Wow! Odoo lets you fix it so that you could use it for anything. But by doing it for our business, we can now allocate and track time correctly when our course instructors are assigned and log their course hours with the students using both the projects and the Timesheets application. But, and it is making me winded, enough matho doers. Get back to our monthly training product page. We're going to use the breadcrumbs up ahead. And there we have them. Today it's bagels. They count as bread. All right, let's go into our sales tab over here because it's time to talk about our upsell and cross-sell section. So I have a few options to make sure my customer knows about all the awesome additional products and services they can get when checking out. Let's add, in our case, consulting services under our optional products field. That tells my website to suggest this product when the customer clicks on the add to cart button. We can also add additional products for our customer to see before they check out. So check right here, accessory products right there. Let's select email newsletter right there. In case our new student wants to keep up with all the happenings at Tecpro and the Stealthy Wood mega corporation. That's right, we're bigger now. And under alternative products, I think it's time for us to add some there. We can remind our students about the other great training program options. So I think we should list our unlimited training, gotta upsell, and in our case, also the yearly training, gotta really push them. So adding these upsell and cross-sell options helps our customers discover products they may not have otherwise come across if they weren't necessarily browsing. And it's also a low effort way for Tecpro to catch more sales. We just blast them with it. So let's see what all of this looks like when an order goes through. Hello doers, I happen to be a Tecpro customer looking at the website right now. So let's head on over to the shop. I'm interested in the monthly training package, so I select it. As a customer, I am immediately greeted with alternative products at the bottom. And let's see what happens when I hit add to cart. Would you look at that? We happen to have our configuration screen right here, which is our upsell product under available options. But for now, though, I'm going to stick to our training package and select proceed to checkout, where, as you can also guess, we can see our email newsletter as a suggested accessory. Let's add this to cart as well. And then we're going to hit pay with demo. Okay, so here we are. I have a payment integration specifically for Tecpro demos, but Odoo offers the most popular payment integrators for your online business, including PayPal, Authorize.net, Stripe, among others as well. So this is what it looks like, and my customer just paid for the monthly training package on our website, but how does that look like inside of Odoo? So because Odoo's apps all talk to each other in the backend, this website purchase generates a sales order in the subscriptions app. So let's actually head in there right now. Okay, remember our order number when we bought that course online? Well, here it is on the back end over there. So from the subscriptions app, I have a default overview of ongoing or paused subscriptions. If I remove this default filter, the list is bigger. You can also see the subscriptions that are still in quotation mode, or unfortunately, ones that have churned. Let's find my most recent subscription sale. We're going to click on the different columns over here just to change it up. Let's order these, in fact, by sales order number by clicking twice on the number column. And there we have it. This happens to be our most recent sales order / subscription. So from here, my team and I can track things like customer information, order and payment dates, and more. In particular, I like to check the next invoicing date right there, which happens to tell me when the next payment is due. On this date, the next invoice will be generated and the subscription period will extend to the next month. These subscription detail fields are my really handy dandy notebook over here because they allow my team to quickly check where we are in the subscription pipeline. We never miss an invoice date and our student subscriptions renew on time. So we actually go way more in depth on the different fields and tabs for subscription products and sales orders in our other subscriptions, tutorials, and documentation, which I've already linked in the subscription below. In the description below. Wow, subscriptions on my mind. Oh, doopsie. So be sure to check those out. Now remember those nifty settings that we enabled earlier. Well, we can take a look at them right here inside of our chatter. Okay, so when a student purchases our training packages from the website, an invoice happens to be directly sent over to their email. And you can actually see that with our invoice if we check that out. So here's the invoice that my customer sees. We can also see our nice little PDF right there that was custom designed with our PDF builder if we would like to. And we can even find the sales section right there. So this saves me and my team the time it takes to manually write and send emails. We didn't have to actually manually create this. Everything just went out. That is not all, my friends, because I configured this product to be associated with a project, and I also configured it to create a task upon purchasing. Project and tasks smart buttons over there appear. And with those, I can head to the project task or the actual project associated with the subscription. So let's click on the task right now. Okay, so here we are. Here's the task page for this new subscription. If we check the chatter, which we have over here, we can see the automated activity I created that tells me to assign an instructor. I'm going to go ahead and do that under our assignees field. So how do we do that? We go over here to assignees, and who do we want to put for here? I have a great software development instructor who I'll assign the subscription to, and her name is Sharon Teal. Manually save. Now I'm going to mark this as done because, as you can guess, I have now assigned Sharon. So assigned Sharon. We'll put big smileys because we're a really nice company, and then we're going to select done. Boom, disappears. And would you look at this? Once that we do that and we hit refresh right there, we're all set. Now to close out my task, I'm also going to change the status to in progress. Because onboarding has been... Whoa, I just cut myself off. Did you see that? A new activity popped up. This is because I set up another automation for the in progress task page to set up an introduction and scheduling call with our student. I know how important it is for customers to talk to actual people, so I set up this task to provide that personal touch. But I think it's time for us to see that now from our instructor hat. So now that I have my Sharon hat on, I could tackle my task by clicking on the edit button right here and selecting open calendar. And you guessed it, now that I opened my calendar app, in this week view, I can actually click into any time and day in the future where I'd like to schedule my call. And it's going to open up in a new event window over here. The time and date are already populated right there where I clicked, as is in our case our attendees. So under video call URL, you'll notice it's blank, but I have this add Odoo meeting. When I do that, I can create a video conference link to send to the student. So the description carries over from my task card as well. I'm going to edit this, however, to say something nicer. Okay, once we're done with that, we just select, save, and close. And boom. Let's head back through our breadcrumbs right now. Now, if I check the chatter, I can either click mark done, or I can also select reschedule if anything comes up. And you'll notice it also updated as well. So the project app is such a powerful tool for getting things done. But how do we track what employees are doing and how long it takes them? Well, Odooers, we do that with Timesheets and the Timesheets app for tracking time and logging hours. But I don't want to have to switch back and forth between my task and my timesheet. Luckily for me, as I mentioned before, Odoo's apps all talk to each other. So from this task page, I, Sharon, can also log my instruction time. I just click into our Timesheets tab right there. Then I select add a line. For the employee, I start typing in my name, Sharon Teal, right there. Perfect. Then I type in how much time I've spent for this session. Let's just say I've already finished one hour. So let's put that in there. There we go. I can also add an optional description, which I could type in right now. Finished first sesh, bro. Hashtag tired. All right, there we go. And as you can see, Odoo itself tracks how much time we've logged in this task versus the total time billed for the subscription in the allocated time field that we have right there. The best part is everything in the Timesheets tab integrates with Odoo's Timesheets app. Let's click back to the sales order through the smart button. Okay. So we have another smart button that shows us how many hours have been recorded for the subscription, as you can tell right now. Go up to the top, it tells us recorded 1 hour. And when we can actually click it to jump over to the Timesheets page for the sales order. I save so much time and energy with these integrations. No more flipping back and forth between apps. Now, let's actually go to the software development training project page by clicking on our sales order breadcrumb over here. And then this time around, we're going to select projects. And then once that we're inside of here, we're going to select tasks. Okay, here we are. So once a course is finished, the assigned instructor moves their task into the finished stage. As you can see, I've actually folded this Kanban view for it to signal our team that these courses are complete. I can also unfold it if I wanted to, and then refold it if I need to. But that's how you see the tasks inside of those. So as a final action, I've automated an email to be sent to students asking them to rate the instructor's services so that we can continue learning how to best serve our students. Because I was going to call them customers, but that would be a misstep. Let's see this in action though. So we have a couple of courses that happen to be complete, which we can see because they actually list that they have 0 hours left over here. So to clear out the completed tasks from our team's Kanban board right there, let's click on the task card and then we're going to drag it over. All right, so let's select this one over, finished. Okay, now it's finished. And then we actually want to click into the task card right there. And as you can tell, Odoo automatically sent a completion email to our student, complete with a rating survey right there. Running a subscription business makes this super important for me. And as I want to capture any and all feedback to make sure that we're offering the best services to our students, it's one of the most recommended things. The smiley faces tell you many things. So because the final rating survey is automated with our completion email, my team and I also have one less step to worry about. And our customers have a final touch where they can reflect on all the great experiences they had with our courses. And there you have it, Odooers. Today we walked through how Tecpro sells subscription products as an online business and learned how Odoo's different apps talk to each other. And I put an emphasis in that. And we've automated a lot of tasks to make my life easier. That was like, what, 3 different hats? I'm going to get Sharon a Teacher of the Year trophy, but I'll catch you next time, Odooers. Go grab a snack. I have to be healthier, so it's a banana.